It's not just about the recipe. It's about how to cook, plan a meal, throw a party. I'm Vickie, and this is Meals and Entertaining for Regular People. Hello, today's episode is about sauces, and I'm really excited to show you this. It might be a little long because I want to go over 5 different types of sauces. Now, in French cooking, there's 5 mother sauces, and I will not tell you what those are because I can't pronounce them. But the first sauce they usually talk about is a béchamel sauce. I can pronounce that word. And that is where you take butter and flour and milk, and that's a bechamel sauce. And sometimes they put some nutmeg in it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it and make you a homemade cheese sauce, and we're going to make macaroni and cheese. So that's our first one. The second one we're going to make is a butter sauce. So I'm going to do a burnt sage butter sauce, which is really good over like a light fish, but basically we use it over butternut squash ravioli. That's one of my husband's favorite things. So I want to show you that. So that's a butter sauce. Those are the dairies. And then I would like to show you how to make a broth-based sauce. And so we're going to make some mushroom, like a mushroom sauce to go over meat. Then we're going to make let's see. Butter. Oh, we're going to make a wine-based sauce. So we're going to make some marsala sauce. It's going to be missing the chicken or the veal or whatever you're going to make it, but I'm going to show you that basic, how easy it is to do that. And then I'm going to show you an invention. So today we're going to invent something using every single one of those methods. Oh, no flour. Well, maybe, you never know. Okay, stay tuned. So here's our official title, bechamel sauce. So what we're going to do, as we did with the gravy episode, and I washed my hands, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to melt that, have some flour, add some milk. If you really want it to be white, you would use a white pepper. But we'll do a little salt and pepper in here, but not really much salt because we're getting a lot of salt from the cheese. So I made this the other day with my friend. She wanted to know how to make homemade macaroni and cheese, and we didn't use any salt because we're going to have salt we're going to boil it with the noodles, so that's going to retain some salt. And she just wanted it really plain for her granddaughter. So this is getting buttered. Then, if we recall the gravy episode, we do the consistency of wet sand. So this will start looking like wet sand. I wish I was a cleaner cook. Ooh, nice. Okay, just a little more. So what we're doing is we're cooking the flour. So you'll actually be able to smell a little nutty flavor. Okay. And this is good. So this is wet sand. We can press this together and make a miniature flour sand castle. Now, at this point, very simple, we're going to start adding a little bit of milk. I see the error of my ways right now. I should have waited till the macaroni was in before I start making the sauce because it's pretty quick. I know what we're looking for here is the flavor of Kraft macaroni and cheese. If you have kids. Well, it doesn't taste like that one. There's a lot of ways with macaroni and cheese, especially like in the South. They serve it, on Thanksgiving and in the Southeast United States. There's 2 ways to do it. Nice and creamy, which is what I'm going to show you today, or you take that nice and creamy, make it a little extra saucy, and then you put it in the oven and bake it. So most macaroni and cheeses, I think that you made homemade or baked, but today I'm just going to show you the easy one that I like. Mick likes it baked, but he's not making it. What I do to salt some of my things is put a little Parmesan cheese in it. So I put that in, and if I just want a little extra salty flavor, maybe a little extra texture. So today I'm going to use 3 cheeses, which is what I would normally do. So I put a little bit of this, a little bit of sharp cheddar, because if you don't use sharp, did I say sharp? Sharp. Not a good one. If you don't use sharp cheddar, it will be pretty bland. And then I'm going to use some Velveeta so that you get that Kraft macaroni and cheese texture. So see, this is getting super thick. Let me move it over here so that you can see the thickness. Add a little more milk, and then we'll bring this up to a little more of a simmer, and then we'll start adding our cheeses. And that's all you do. You put a little bit of the pasta water. After the pasta has cooked, it releases starch into the water. Then the starch, you put the pasta water in here, and it will make the macaroni absorb the cheese sauce, and it makes it super good. Okay, the water's now coming up to boil. So I will continue with my beautiful cheese sauce. I didn't want you to miss anything. So this is coming up to boil. So we're gonna make it really salty. It's supposed to taste like the sea. So I'm gonna use this fancy salt I bought and this fancy salt box that I bought so that you would be impressed. No, actually my husband wanted it because he saw it on TV. So that's a lot of salt, but it's okay. And then you don't put the salt in. You don't put the salt in until it comes to a boil, or you will pit the bottom of your pans, which is something that I just learned after all my pans are pitted on the bottom. So I'm going to put that in. Here comes macaroni. Now, that seems like a lot of macaroni. I might not use it all, but I didn't want to mess around with them. So there's that for somebody else to clean. So, in an earlier episode called Tools of the Trade, I talked about my special thing that I'd never seen before. And I told everybody, this is the tool, and you're never going to find it, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm watching this cooking show, older lady. I just love her. She's really pretty, and she has 7 million views. And look, guess what she was using? Is this exact one. So I went online and Amazon, and I typed it in a million different ways till I found it. It was $5. Okay. Now let's get the rest of this cheese sauce going. So that'll be just a moment. So first I'm going to add, since I did take a break and have to make a cut, I walked over and got my white pepper. So white pepper is so you don't want black specks. You use it basically because you want to put pepper in and you don't want black specks. So I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll use it today so you guys can see. So it's just like the white, you know how pepper is black and white? So it's a little white. So this is gray, but it's called white pepper. And you can see what it looks like in there. And it kind of melts into it. So a lot of chefs will use it. Okay, nice white pepper going in here. Yum, yum. That way the kids won't be complaining. I think I put too much in. Don't put it that much in. All right, so now we're going to add a little Parmesan, and a little Parmesan cheese. Super salty, nice. We're going to stir it up, and it will melt into there. Let me check my flame. I might turn it up just a little. I turned it down. Okay, so put that in. It's dissolving in there. Then I'm going to put a little sharp cheddar in. I'll probably end up using half this package. And this is 8 ounces. And of course, you recall from earlier episodes, I'm extremely lazy. Now, there's some things that makes a difference with bag cheese. It's not as good. If you're going to eat it on a taco, we like it better when we grate it ourselves. But for something that is hidden like this, we're going to melt some of this in here. It's just barely turning yellow now. I'm going to put a little more in. Then I'm going to taste it. Then I'm going to add some Velveeta. Yum. Then we'll taste it after we add a couple of Velveeta cubes. Then we want to see if our stuff is boiling over. How you doing, little noodles? Oh, they're okay. Two things at one time. Oh my gosh. But you need them both at the same time. I wouldn't cook one then the other. You just got to keep an eye on it doesn't boil over. So I got it rocking and rolling in there. All right. Maybe a little more milk. This is going to be enough for the neighborhood. That's how I cook. I don't want to bore you guys. My other sauces will go quicker. Oh, I just thought of something else I can make you guys. I don't want to crowd too much in one episode. Oh, little Velveeta cubes. I cut them in advance. Gonna boil over. I'm watching it. So if you stick your spoon in a boiling thing that's about to boil over, it'll not boil over. Let me do this. Watch. See how it died down? That's just a little tip. Now the Velveeta is melting in the beautiful sauce. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it doesn't look very orange, but it will. It will as the Velveeta melts in there. I wouldn't use American cheese. For some reason, I know it's the same thing, but it separates more for me. It's not as good. So I wouldn't use American cheese. And you don't even have to do the Velveeta. So since we're standing here waiting, I would like to, I better turn this down because I'm not going to pay attention. It's going to spill over and that would be hugely embarrassing. So, oh, nice. I'll talk about grown-up macaroni and cheese. So when I went over to my friend's house, I made her make a grown-up macaroni and cheese. So this kind of thing, I was at a restaurant the other day, and they had a white macaroni and cheese with bacon in it. So at her house, we fried some bacon. So fried some bacon up, and then I added a little garlic and a little bit red pepper chili flakes. Just give it something. And then we made, instead of adding the butter, we added the flour to the bacon fat. And then we added the milk, and we added some Italian mixed cheeses. Of course, that included the Parmesan. And we used it with like a penne pasta, and I call that grown-up macaroni and cheese. Because now we've got garlic, we got a little spice. Okay, yeah, probably a few more. And then I'm going to test the macaronis, and then you're going to see what we're going to do next. They should just about be done. They're getting fat. So what we do, perfect. Okay, so they're still a little firm. Put this over here. Let me finish melting these little guys. Now, at this point, as soon as I get these melted, I'm going to add the macaroni straight in here along with the pasta water. So I'm not going to drain it because each little guy has a little bit of water on it. So I'll use just a pinch of pasta water, maybe a half cup, and it's going to dilute this. But then it firms all up as it seizes up and gets blended. I'm going to let the macaronis continue cooking in this beautiful sauce. Okay, so you'll be surprised at what I do here. Are you ready? Here we go. We'll take the macaronis, add it to the cheese sauce. Macaroni, add it to the cheese sauce. So I'm not draining it. This has a lot of water in it, but I am going to put a little half cup in. And then if I need to make it thinner, then I will add more pasta sauce. I don't need to add any more milk at this point. Let's see how it's going. And it will continue to cook now. A little bubbly underneath. And you see it's thinner. So at this point, if you baked it, it would be perfect. But it's going to thicken up. Here, honey, you get to try it.
Oh boy.
Actually looks quite good. Here you go, baby.
Oh, thank you.
Blow on it.
Oh my gosh, it tastes like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
No, it's good, isn't it?
It's very good. It's delicious.
Honey, be serious.
I am.
It's good, but it just needs to cook a little more.
A little ketchup and pepper would be fantastic.
So Mick said I was boring you guys and the episode was too long, so I had to cut the crap out of it. So, as you see, we have a beautiful, oh my gosh, macaroni and cheese. I added the macaroni in here. And then we took a break and started eating it. It's really good. So I have a bunch of macaroni and cheese. I could put this now into a pan, put the little crumblies on the top, bake it in the oven, or we could just serve it right now. Oh, do I want another bite? Oh, I guess I shouldn't be eating in front of you. And here it is, creamy macaroni and cheese. Look at that steam. Okay, that's it, and the next episode's coming up. Watch for our next episode when we make gravy. Thanks for watching. Please visit my website, mealsandentertaining.com, and see my available ebooks. Plus, subscribe to my channels, and don't forget to follow me, like me, or love me.